Hello, it's me again, Neil Vorster from Organic Growth. I'm the property coach for Organic Growth, and today we're looking at another one of the secrets of the wealthy. Specifically, I'm talking about leverage. But before we go there, let me just I want to turn this around, show you what's in the background there. I'm standing on my balcony at the moment that's overlooking Sandton. Let me get you a better view. There we go. So that's Sandton busy developing in the distance there. I'm on my balcony. Thanks. I see people are joining, and somebody sent me an attachment. While I'm here, just if somebody could just let me know, is the sound quality okay? Because I am out in the open with cars coming past, and so if the sound quality is terrible, I'm going to have to go inside. But I think it should be fine. Why don't you just type in the comments there if you can hear me properly. Okay, so anyway, let me get on with the show. Let me just go back to, there we go. Alright, so today we're talking about leverage. Now, as you hear people talk about property investment, they're always talking about leverage, and normally it means financial leverage. In other words, borrowing money from the bank. Okay, I'm getting comments here that my sound quality is okay. All right, good stuff. Okay, so you normally hear that your now I've got the wind blowing my notes and everything all over the place. Oh well, the joys of. Anyway, so financial leverage is the most common term considered, where you literally use the bank's money to buy property for you. And yes, we do that, but that's not what I'm talking about today. Today I want to talk about leveraging your power. Now, it's not something often spoken about, and it's people think corruption, all kinds of stuff, but I'm not talking about that. The wealthy people in this world, what they do is they leverage their power by forming cartels and associations and things like that. So as an investor, you're not just a lone ranger out there, you know, it's very much a poverty mindset, somebody who goes ahead and makes an investment and sits back and just holds thumbs and says, oh, I hope this works. Now, the wealthy people don't hope things work. They do their best to make things work. And so when it comes to buying an investment in a townhouse complex, for example, then you might be buying a townhouse in a complex with 300 units, and you do your due diligence and you make sure you're buying the right property and everything. What happens when corruption sets in? Because it happens, you know, in South Africa we're having a lot of problems with corruption, state capture, all that kind of thing. Well, I've seen something start now, and we're seeing complex capture happening, literally. All right, and the term hijacking a body corporate is also being bandied around a bit. So what do you do as an owner when you're in a complex and you discover that the people managing your complex are either incompetent or corrupt? And unfortunately, you've only got one vote. Now, you can go to CSOS. CSOS is a body that there's an ombudsman who attends to body corporate issues and so on, and corruption. In fact, it was in I see Henry saying it's a nice sunny day in Sandton. Yes, it is. It's an awesome day here. Okay, on Carte Blanche last night, in fact, they had an article. They had an article where a body corporate took a managing agent to CSOS, and they got a ruling against them, and the ruling was against a company called BCA, and they found against them, and they were ousted. So you actually do have power, and it found its way to Carte Blanche. So, you know, Carte Blanche love it when the small guy gets his way. Well, we want to take it just a step beyond that, and in fact, I was in a situation this very weekend with another body corporate where an attempt was made by that same company to come in and take over the body corporate management, and they were doing things in a rather irregular way. But I digress. let me get back to where I started, and I'll come back to this theme. So when you're an investor, okay, and you buy as an investor in one unit, you're getting your one vote. So how about investing with a group of other investors where you can actually make a change, where you leverage your one vote to 15, 20 votes or 20%. And now, what we do, okay, let me just tell you a little bit about how we operate. Our Organic Growth Premium Investment Club, we focus on particular townhouse complexes in good areas. So we look at the financials, we do full due diligence of the complexes, and you do everything in your power to make sure your investment is right and it's giving you the right return on investment and so on. Then we take it a step further, and we try and get a certain percentage of ownership. We aim for a percentage ownership in the complex. And what that enables us to do is, if we see corruption trying to take hold, if we see somebody trying to take over the body corporate or just purely incompetent, we've actually got a vote, but a significant vote, and we pool our votes and we go as a team. And sure, you're only allowed to vote for 2 people, but we took a team of people, and each person had 2 proxies. So in the situation we had this weekend, we saw something we really didn't like start to happen, and we went to an AGM, and we effectively had 20% of the vote, and we got our way. And the people who were trying to take over and do all kinds of things against our desires, and because this particular company have just had a CSOS ruling against them for misappropriating the funds. I don't have the exact wording on me, and maybe I need to do another video to look precisely at it. But essentially, what they did is the body corporate managing agent and some of the trustees made some decisions that were actually found to be dishonest by CSOS, and they were told to give the money back. So it amounted to about 300,000 rand, and this ruling was in September. And we were in a situation where it was put to us that we had to vote on it on Saturday, to whether they were going to be managing agents, our new managing agents, because this complex, the current managing agents were found to be unsatisfactory. So we went in there with power. We went in there. It was a long haul process, but in the end we got our way. And instead of one single person putting just your one vote in there, we actually went with 20% of the vote, and all perfectly legitimate, all perfectly above board. And we're not trying to get control of complexes for irregular purposes. We just want to, if things go wrong, you want the power to be able to step in and make things right again. And that's what we do. That's what we do. So if you want to get involved with us, or you want to find out more about how we go about doing this sort of thing, come to us. You'll find us at organicgrowth.co.za/coach. Above me in the writing there, you'll see the actual URL. And oh, thank you. I see somebody commenting saying great strategy. Well, you have to strategize with these things, and it's one of the secrets of the wealthy is they have strategies, and this is one of their strategies. You have to leverage your power. Okay, so if you have any questions, please type them in now. Let me see if I can address them before I get on to hooking off. Yeah, I see Warren is saying go in with numbers and have a real say. Yes, absolutely. You're swimming as a lone fish, a lone ranger investor out there. You really are at the whims of whatever happens. Whereas what we want to do is say let's go in as a group. Let's make group decisions, and when things go pear-shaped, we can actually step in and rectify them. So I think I'm going to have to do another whole series or a couple of series on body corporates and how to manage it and so on, but that's not really one of the secrets of the wealthy. That's just management of your assets, which we'll get to down the line. So if you want to, I see Henry saying if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Absolutely, absolutely. So you need to actually plan how to make your vote count, and this is one of the ways you make it count. You get that corporate vote, and if you want to start your own property portfolio, and you want to hook up with a group of other like-minded investors, find us on the link above and connect with us. And let's get your portfolio going. And then please don't forget questions. If obviously there are questions that don't even relate to this topic, and you want to ask them, and we'll either I'll either respond to them in a video on its own. I'll do, if the topic warrants it, I'll actually do a video purely on your question, but otherwise I'll just answer it in the complex. So please keep your questions coming. Oh, I see Warren saying, is this trend increasing of hijacking complexes? I can't call it, I don't think it's as much I don't think I could call it a trend yet, but certainly I've seen the danger. I saw this particular company was abusing the situation in one complex and moved straight on to the next one. In fact, they signed an agreement with, getting back to this weekend's fiasco, well, not fiasco, but a potential fiasco. They signed an agreement with the current trustees to actually come on board as their managing agents within days of the CSOS ruling against them. And that's one of the things that I've been speaking of CSOS. You know, CSOS it's a body, a regulating body, that every sectional title owner, you actually pay. You'll look on your levy account, you'll see a small amount, like 15-20 rand per unit, that goes towards funding CSOS, and CSOS are there to regulate as a regulatory body for body corporates. Okay. And it's really early stage, and we saw some really good benefit. I mean, they were on carte blanche just yesterday about the same company and so on. But one thing that I want to still see, and I'm not seeing yet, is that CSOS don't seem to have the muscle yet, or the forum where to actually sanction a body, a managing agent. So a managing agent gets found guilty of fraud or corruption or whatever, and sure, they lose that business, but they can just go on and do it again to the next body corporate. And how does that body corporate know? How do you as a body corporate know if your managing agent has got a clean record? And that's what I still want to see, and I'm hoping that will develop out of CSOS. But when it happens, I'll let you know. I see Warren's asking, how did it affect landlords? Well, in this weekend, the landlords got away with a result, a good result. This agency, or this that was found to be, I don't want to use the wrong words and incriminate myself, but they were found to be dishonest. That's one word I remember seeing in it, in their dealings with the body corporate. They were exposed and found to be guilty, and sure that BCA have the right. They claim their innocence, of course, as one is entitled to. But they have a right to appeal to a Supreme Court, because the CSOS ruling is equivalent to a magistrate's court ruling. So yes, they have every right to go and appeal this with the Supreme Court and clear their name. And if their name's cleared, then by all means they can come and tout for the business again. But until then, you know, CSOS is doing its job, and we as landlords are protected. So that's what happened this weekend. Okay, so I think that's all for today. If you learned something new, or you'd like to share this with your mates, please share it. Let's get the good news out. And until the next time, probably tomorrow. Thanks. Bye-bye.